to do a spinach salad along with the chicken pot pie. So I'm going to start off with our dough for the chicken pot pie. That calls for 3 cups of flour, which I already have in my bowl, 1 pound of margarine, which needs to be at room temperature. I cut it in little pieces. Put the pieces into the flour. Gonna mix it up. Flour, butter together, kind of bind it together.
Sorry, Lil, but could everyone please mute? We hear music in the background. Please mute everyone. EJ Davis, please mute.
Sorry, I'm not at home.
Okay.
That's my First Lady. Hi, First Lady. Thank you for joining. So as we're adding the butter and the flour, it's starting to bind together. I'm going to add a cup of water to the mixture, creating a little well in the middle of our bowl. Then we'll continue to mix. Sometimes you might need to add just a little more flour if the margarine mix with the flour starts to stick to your fingers. So you can just add a little more. Then it'll start to form. It's starting to form. And what you'll need to do is take it and put it in some saran wrap. And then we put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Okay, so this is what it'll look like once you take it out of the refrigerator. And once you take it out of the refrigerator, put a little flour on your table. And then you're gonna cut a piece for your bottom of your pan. So this is, I'm using a half pan for the chicken pot pie. So I cut a piece about this big. Just rolling it around in the flour a little bit. And I'll take my rolling pin. And roll it out. If it starts to stick to the table, just add a little flour to it and it'll continue to roll out. Have a little moisture, add some flour to the table.
What was this cooking?
I'm putting a little on top as well. It's a little warm in the kitchen, so it's sticking a little bit, but that's okay, it will still roll.
Chef, your camera is looks like it's on.
Can you see it? You could take a knife and just kind of lift up the bottom if it sticks a little bit. And just continue to roll the dough onto the rolling pin. Like this. I'm gonna take my pan, level the dough, the end hanging off just a little. And that's the bottom. And we'll do the same for the top. I'll put this to the side. And then I'll roll out another piece for the top. Same process. Any questions so far? Then we're gonna roll up the top, just like we did the bottom. And I'm gonna set this to the side until we're ready to fill. Okay. Then the next thing we're gonna do is make our sauce, which is the bechamel sauce, which is white sauce. The recipe calls for 5 tablespoons of butter. You're gonna put that in your pot. Turn your pot on low. You're gonna let it melt down.
Oh, my concentrate.
You turn the fire up too high, the butter will scorch. So you just want to make sure you watch it. Have my whisk, kind of whisk it around. Once it cooks down, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of flour. Now, I made the dough from scratch, but you can always use Pillsbury pie crust. It comes out just as well. If you don't want to do it from scratch, you can get this and it will still turn out good. Okay, our butter is melted, so I'm going to add the flour. Gonna whisk that as well. It's gonna make like a roux. Once the flour and the butter cooks together, the roux is like a paste, if you will. Okay. Like a pasty consistency that you're looking for. Turn my fire down a little more. You don't want it to burn because it'll mess up your sauce. Then I'm gonna add 2 cups of milk, room temperature. Now whisk that in as well and let that cook. And you want it to cook until it gets thick. I'm going to turn my fire up just a little bit. And continue to stir. While I'm waiting on the sauce to finish, I'm going to chop up our chicken for our chicken pot pie. I use the cooked chicken strips. Chop those up. You can also use pulled chicken. You get a rotisserie chicken and pull it, or get the pulled shredded chicken that's already shredded. I got the chicken strips fully cooked, and I'm just chopping them into pieces. And this is about 2 cups. Starting to get thick. Turn it up just a little bit. You want to be careful with your fire because it'll start popping, and that you don't want to happen. You don't want to injure yourself. Any questions so far from anyone? These pieces are. All right, now our sauce is thickening up. So now I'm going to add cup to 2 cups of Parmesan cheese. And this is shredded Parmesan cheese. Gonna mix that in as well. Add a little salt. A tablespoon of salt. And continue to stir and whisk. You can see that it's forming. If it's a little too thick, you can add a little milk to thin it out some, but this is normally how I use it. Then you want to taste it just to make sure that you have enough salt and enough cheese. And you can kind of go with your taste. I like mine kind of not real salty, but the distinctness of the Parmesan, I'd like to be able to taste that. So I normally add a little extra Parmesan. But this is right on. I'm going to turn this off. This is ready. That's your bechamel sauce. A lot of people also use this same recipe and add cheddar cheese and sharp cheese to make macaroni and cheese. So the same recipe, but they just add different cheese. And we have our chicken chop for the pot pie. So you also want to use some mixed vegetables that are room temperature, frozen but thawed, that are mixed, that are room temperature. And if you can't let them thaw, then you can just steam them for a few minutes in some hot boiling water. I have some already ready. I have about 2 cups here. I'm going to add them to my bowl. If you don't want to use mixed vegetables, you can use pretty much whatever you'd like. But this is like the traditional vegetable for pot pie. Some people add potatoes. I would say if you add potatoes, just don't cook them all the way. Leave them a little crunchy because you're going to put the pot pie in the oven for about 40 minutes. So you don't want them soggy. So I've added the mixed vegetables. I'm going to pour my chicken in. Add a little salt. Granulated onion. Granulated garlic. Black pepper. And a couple of tablespoons of chicken base. And that's just for flavor. And I'm going to mix this up before adding bechamel. You can see okay, now we're going to add our sauce to the mixture. And then we'll mix this. There's your mixture. We have the bottom of our pan ready to go. So we're going to pour the mixture inside of this And spread it out. And like I mentioned, I like extra Parmesan, so you can sprinkle a little more Parmesan on at this time before putting your top on. Now we're going to roll our top out. And remember, like I said, if it sticks a little bit, you can add a little flour to kind of loosen it up. Roll over the sides. Now, this side is a little too long, so I'm going to cut some off. Now, if this was a peach cobbler, I will leave it all on because everybody fights for the crust. And then I'll fold this over as well. And the edges, kind of wipe off the sides. You want to do that so it doesn't burn.
No problem. We're on the safe side.
Let's take a break. We're gonna get more questions right after this.
Put on the side, slide a little bit. And I'm going to wipe my edges. My oven is preheated at 425 degrees. So this is going to go in once you clean your sides off for 30 to 40 minutes. And this is the pan ready to go in. Okay, clean up some of this and move on to our salad. As I mentioned, it's a spinach salad with fresh spinach. The other ingredients that we're going to add to our fresh spinach salad tonight are mandarin oranges. And you can get them in the can or in the refrigerated section at your grocery store. I got the little packet from the refrigerated section. And then with the tomatoes, I have cherry tomatoes, the yellow and the red. I'm going to cut those in halves. The mandarin oranges we're going to leave whole. Depending on the time of the year, when you get your tomatoes, They may be a little big, so if you get some that are big, you can quarter them versus cutting them in half. Then we have our cucumber. Cut those in half moons. And I have some red onion that are thinly sliced. And I have some dried cranberries. Those on top. You can also add nuts if you like. But I was looking for a color and also something that would be good to go along with the pot pie. So you can do other things. You can add, you can do crudité, which would be a broccoli, carrot, cauliflower tray with the dip. That would be good to go along with the chicken pot pie. You can also do asparagus. Any kind of green vegetable will go really well with that. But I chose to do a salad to keep it light. And I'm going to put my mandarin oranges in. More cranberries. And this is our salad. And I have a lemon herb vinaigrette dressing. Pour a little of this over the top. And we'll put this to the side for our final plate up.
Chef, we have a question. Well,
Yes,
Madison,
ma'am.
YouTube is like totally loving everything that you're making, and they're going nuts over the cranberries and all of that. But a question: do you use garlic salt or garlic powder?
Actually, I use granulated garlic, but you can use garlic salt or garlic powder, but this is granulated garlic. If you use garlic salt, then you don't want to use too much of the regular salt.
So you would suggest
Any of the three.
granulated garlic.
Granulated garlic, right.
Okay.
But you
And
can
then-
use garlic powder or garlic salt, but just kind of watch the regular salt if you use garlic salt.
And someone, YouTube just, they also indicated that they appreciate you saying they could use Pillsbury
Yes.
dough. This person said it's the bomb, so thank you for that. And the next question was, do you make your own dressing?
I did
salad
not make my
dressing.
own dressing tonight, but I can make the dressing. Just due to time, I wasn't able to make the dressing, so I used wishbone.
Okay.
Yeah.
They said lemon herb sounds good.
Yes, it's a lemon herb vinaigrette.
And YouTube is saying, great job, chef. Looks beautiful, looks yummy. So that's from YouTube.
Thank you so much.
Anyone from Zoom, you all can ask your questions. And I concur, it does look good.
Well, we have some time, so if you have some questions.
It just looks wonderful, Chef. Thank you so much. I just feel every time I watch these classes, I'll be like, I can cook. Yes, I can.
And, I wanted to select recipes that are, fairly easy that you can do at home. That's why I mentioned the Pillsbury, because some people, I got intimidated. I'll be honest, when I, was first taught to make the dough, I would mess it up. And even to this day, I still have, some of my staff do it because I just don't like, getting all messy and my hands all down in the flour. But, there are other options and still come out with the same results.
Chef, what's the
Yes.
difference with the granulated garlic and the garlic powder and garlic salt?
Well, with the granulated garlic, it's more of a fine garlic and nothing else is added to it.
Okay.
With the granulated salt, it's the garlic and the salt added together. And then with the powder, it's more of a powdery mix with the garlic itself.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And as I mentioned, with the salad, you can add pretty much whatever you want. I just chose these items, one for the color, to kind of pick up the color of the vegetables that are inside of the pot pie, to kind of make the plate look pretty, if you will, and something light to add on to the fullness of the pot pie. Okay, well, if you don't have any additional questions, I'm gonna go on and plate up our pot pie. So I did bake one ahead of time, so I have one already ready, and this is what your finished product will look like when it comes out. And you want to let it cook, as I mentioned, for 30 to 40 minutes. And once it comes out of the oven, you need to let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes before digging down in it. You want it to kind of mold together so it'll be easy to scoop out. I'll get everything set up for a plate. We have our plate. I have a couple of little spinach leaves in the bottom. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the filling. Once it sets, it kind of molds together. And it's not runny, which is good. So we have our finished product, our chicken pot pie with our mixed vegetables with the bechamel sauce, and our spinach salad with cucumber, mandarin oranges, red onion, yellow and red tomatoes, mandarin with a lemon herb vinaigrette dressing. Any questions?
It looks wonderful.
Thank you.
Chef, 2 questions from YouTube.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. Can the chicken be replaced with turkey?
Yes.
Okay. And then I think your best friend Janice asked if you had a Chef Lil cookbook.
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Okay. And then someone
Not yet. I'm
asked,
working on it. Now with the turkey,
yes.
I was gonna say with the turkey, you can pretty much use any kind. You can get a turkey breast and roast it off, and then just cut that as well. Or you can get the shredded turkey. Same concept.
Someone else asked, do you know how many calories per serving for the pot pie?
Now that I do not. That I do not.
I think
But I
that was
can
all the
get that.
questions from YouTube.
I can get that for you.
Looks delicious, Chef.
Thank you.
Great presentation. It definitely looks delicious.
Thank you very much.
I'm on my way to get my portion. Just put in a to-go tray for me.
Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
I'm with Susie. I'll give Susie, pick mine up for me too.
I got you. I got you.
I want some.
Like
You
I said,
Enough to give
it's a
everybody.
simple recipe that anybody can follow, and with us coming on to the winter months, this is something that's kind of hearty, that's filling and good, actually.
I had some chicken pot pie soup
Long to
today,
make.
so that was good.
Jocelyn from New York says it looks simply amazing.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
And I can't wait to get the recipe so I can try it.
Okay, well, I'll make sure you get that tomorrow, Michelle.
Yes, that looks like a great winter meal. Looks delicious.
As I mentioned, the holidays are coming around. That sauce you can use for your macaroni and cheese. We actually use it for our lasagna. So when we do our lasagna, we add the same sauce. We just do add a little more seasoning to it and add an Italian seasoning. for the lasagna, but same sauce, same recipe.
That is amazing.
I'm gonna
If
check
only
on
we,
go
I
ahead,
was gonna
sorry.
say, if only we could figure out how to do a taste test through Zoom.
Right, right. I'm gonna check on the one that's in the oven. It still has a little ways to go. But you wanna look for like a golden brown top, and that'll let you know that it's done.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
If I'm having a dinner party, about how many servings could I get out of each dish?
So the recipe that we did tonight, this is a half pan.
Mm-hmm.
Out of this, I did like a nice hearty piece. So you can do it a little smaller. And I'd say about 12 pieces out of this half pan.
12, okay. All right then.
About 12, yeah, because you can do it cut the pieces a little smaller. You can cut it down, cut it in threes.
Okay.
And then cut the pieces. About 12 pieces out of this half pan.
Great, great.
Definitely want to make sure you let it set in order to cut the pieces like that, because if you cut it too soon and all of the filling will start sliding out.
Right. One more question, Ms. Lenore.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this part of your menu
It
selection?
is. It is for the fall.
Great. Thank you.
Yep. So if you want one, you can call me at 773-925-6699.
All right.
But this does go on our menu for the fall.
Wonderful. Oh, and the spinach salad as well?
Yes.
All right.
Spinach salad as well.
Thank you.
You just need to let me know. Like I said, we normally add nuts. I didn't add nuts tonight. So if you have a nut allergy or anything like that, just tell us not to put the nuts in, and we won't. But all of the other ingredients normally come with it. Anybody else?
Looks marvelous. I am so hungry. I'm on my way to get mine.
All right, First Lady, thank you. Come on.
Great job, Chef. Great job.
Thank you.
Yes, Chef, great job.
Thank you so much. Is that my Pastor Davis?
No, this would be Amir Muhammad.
Okay, that's one of my staff members. Lenore's Kitchen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Pastor is looking. He said it looks delicious.
Thank you. He brought so much.
And YouTube concurs. There are a lot of people on YouTube tonight, and they all are saying how delicious it looks. Can't wait to try it.
Great, great. Well, let us know how it turns out. And if you have any questions, you can call me at that number, 773-925-6699. I'd be more than happy to take any questions, or you can email me at lenoreskitchen@gmail.com. Well, again, thank you, Michelle, and everybody that's listening and watching tonight. It's a pleasure to do what I do. And I thank you for selecting me to present tonight.
And we look forward to seeing you next Thursday.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea of what we will be doing next Thursday?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm still working on a couple of things.
Okay. Well, we look forward to it. And you all, thank you all so much for joining us tonight for Prepare and Taste. And we look forward to seeing you. Pray you have an amazing week. And if we have your email, we will gladly send you the recipe tomorrow along with tonight's video.
Yes.
Take care and God bless.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Chef.
Thanks, Lil.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, Lil. It was
You're welcome.
delicious.
You.
It looks delicious.
Thank you.